evening. This is Critical Break, and I'm Dee. And it is, January 3rd already. It is a Thursday. Okay, hold on a minute. I have got to mute my deal here. Hold on. January 3rd already. There we go. Yay! So we don't get crazy feedback. Alrighty. I'm so excited about tonight because I have a guest tonight. But I wanted to open the show with something that was posted this past week. And let's see. Let me find that for you guys real quick. Alright, here we go. This was authored by Carolyn the Comforter. It says, I am happy to have found some angel spirits here. I am happy in my interior world of hopes, dreams, and mostly loving thoughts. The physical world and those who want to live in only that plane are removed from me. It is like I don't see them. They are part of a great crowd of people walking on the street. Those who bring light to the world stand out. The others fade to black and white. This is becoming more apparent to me as I pray and discover what is sacred here to be found. I am a peacemaker, one who stands in the gap between perfect love and our less evolved human attempts that don't meet. I am a healer, looking to cast out anxieties and fears of others through my steadfast, calm assurance that all will be well. All is well. We are helpers, often invisible to the world, but luminous beings sent here to comfort, knowing what others need because we have been well acquainted with the less than divine feelings of pain and want of vitality, of repeated failure in physical matters, not measuring up as the royal children we truly are in the fallen world we live in. But there is hope. Our pain is the route to the power to help end another's suffering, if we can find how we can affect the change. Helpers are around us, pointing the way. We have been given the vision we have as a gift. It has been earned at a cost. It is to be spent to help another who is traveling along the same road we have traveled. And in so doing, the world is healed. We cannot grow without bringing others with us. As we heal others, our own capacity to heal is heightened and engaged. We receive by giving freely to others our goodwill. And like I said, that was written by Carolyn the Comforter. And just fantastic. When I read this, I was like, I have to read this to everyone. I was just like, she spells out what we are really well there. So, anyway, I wanted to share that with everybody. So, hello, Vestel. Hello, Jeffrey Allen. Good to see you guys. I have a very special guest with me tonight, Spirit of Truth. has come to speak about her experiences and to, hi OR, good to see you. And she's going to share with us some things I don't even know about. She has basically given us exclusive on some events that happened to her recently. Spirit at Truth, I know she's there. Hi, there she is. How are you doing? I'm good. How are you? Oh, I am doing very well, super well. We had some technical difficulties. Spirit was having a horrible time getting her account to work right, so we got it all fixed up though. But she has been a huge inspiration to me, and her story is so it's incredible. It really is. And so she came to share with us, and we decided to start with, you know how some people will leave the good stuff? Well, all of it's good. But you know how some will leave the exclusive for the end? We're going to start with it. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let her tell us some more about herself and her Spirit of Truth channel, and share with you all an incredible life that she's had. Anyway, go for it, Spirit.
Well, I guess incredible would be a good descriptor, because it certainly wouldn't be credible in a lot of circles. Only on the internet could we be found credible. But it certainly has been a life full of weirdness, and one of the reasons I chose to kind of start coming out a little bit is because a lot of people are really freaked out about what's happening in the world right now, and what's going on with, all kinds of issues. Toxic environments, changes in the body, weirdness with aliens, and some stuff at the Vatican, and we could go on and on, right? So, the Mandela effect, and so a lot of people are really concerned and upset, like this is the end, and we can't fix what's been done, and all this kind of stuff, and I just don't know that to be true. I don't know any of the scary stuff to be true at all. And so that's kind of why I wanted to speak out at all. Otherwise, my life has been pretty unimpressive to me. It's been a series of messes and, upset and drama and losses and, highs and lows and strangeness in strange places, and just all kinds of things that most people really would not want to go through. So, I know sometimes, somebody will hear a story of somebody and say, oh, I wish I had those experiences. Well, maybe not, and sometimes it may seem real cool when you're hearing the story, but when it was happening, it wasn't so cool to the person it was happening to. I have a lot of that stuff that I can really laugh about now, but going through it was just really pretty horrific and to me boring and weird and just uncomfortable, awkward, a lot of that kind of stuff. And so, it hasn't been really an enviable position, like in any way. It's not like people like me have been readily accepted in the world. Our ideas have always been extremely radical, and so we've been pushed away even by our own people. And so, what may seem aggressive to some, when you're living it's kind of a different thing. So I just kind of wanted to point that out because it's not necessarily an enviable position to be in. It's just, where I am. And, so most of it to me has been, even Mandela effects have been going on since early childhood. In some of my videos I talked about very early Mandela effects, and to me it was just more weirdness in my life because from a very, very early age, I was already realizing, hey, you're not in Kansas anymore. I wasn't in my home anymore. And I was in this very barbaric place that seemed very assaultive to me. Very barbaric, just beyond words. How horrific this place looked to me even at very early ages, like 3 and 4 years old. I was like, get me out of here. And so, it's never really been comfortable for me to be on this planet or in this place. And, it's just something that I chose to do, out of compassion and caring for other beings, in the cosmos. So, there's been experiences as I went over in some detail on my channel with abductions, kidnappings, forced labor, being used, things like that, different factions that do that kind of stuff, and a little bit about what that was about. But, the one I wanted to, and it was such a minute, tiny, and this is what my whole life has been full of, is minute, tiny little things that were, just to me kind of normals, and nobody else would react or respond to them. So eventually you just quit talking about them and you go, well, isn't that interesting, more strangeness, and then you kind of go on about your way. And that's what was happening with me, is that there was just so many incidences of small strangeness that it just, and nobody acknowledging it, that it was just normal to me. So it's, okay, well, more strangeness, and go on about your life. And so not much phases me. But I am going to tell you the one that happened just a couple of weeks ago that, man, it even threw me for a loop. I don't often do double takes, but let me tell you, this one had me doing double and triple takes. So, I was at the house, and I had been doing some cleaning up and some laundry and that kind of thing, and I got up to go to check on my laundry, and so I come out of my bedroom and I turn into the kitchen headed toward the laundry room. And as soon as I turn the kitchen into, or turn the corner into the kitchen, it happened so fast that the first part of it I almost dare to say I even saw. You know what I mean? Like, it was so fast. But that was the outline of a humanoid figure. And at this time, it had no distinguishable features or really color even. It was just kind of a dark form. But it disappeared so fast that I hesitate to say if it even happened. You know what I mean? Like one of those, like, did I really see that? But the next part I know happened, and that's what had me keeping turning back to it. And that is, as soon as that form disappeared, it disappeared down into a four-pointed, long, elongated, vertically elongated star. Like Disney star, you know, like a very long, just four-pointed top, bottom, and two sides, where the top and bottom are longer in it. And it just disappeared, the whole thing. With that light, the star just got smaller and was gone, and it happened extremely fast. Like just blipping out. Like I turned the corner and there was somebody there and it just blipped out with this star thing. You know, the star was real big and then went smaller and just blipped out. And it was almost like Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever. I'm not a huge sci-fi fan, so sci-fi fans don't get mad at me that I don't know what's what, but, you know, phasing in and out, or how they would magically do it on TV or something, you know what I mean, and the little star disappears at the end, like, bloop, and it happened so incredibly fast, but it was clear as day, especially the star part. Now, the first part, like I said, the shape disappeared so fast because I caught it so late in the blipping, and the blipping apparently happens incredibly fast, that it just blipped out incredibly fast, and I literally stood there and cocked my head, like, what the heck? And, because I said not much shakes me, at first, I did my usual, just more weirdness, and proceeded on toward the laundry room. And the closer I got to that spot where this thing had disappeared from, the more, like, heebie-jeebies I got. Like, oh my God. Like, something was just here and blipped out, and I just kept looking at that spot, and then I walked into my laundry room and opened the washer and literally stopped and turned around and looked back to the hallway again. It was just like, and usually, like I said, it doesn't really faze me. I just, I see weirdness and I go, oh, okay, more weirdness, and gone about my way. But this one, like, for some reason was so different to me that I 3 times in my laundry room literally did a double take and turned back around to look in the hall, and literally stood there looking for a couple of seconds in the hall, wondering, okay, am I really losing my mind now? Is it happening? Is it it?
That's the way it feels, right?
Yeah, did I just see what I just saw? So, yeah, I mean, that was an incredibly strange experience for me. Not anything that I remember consciously seeing happen ever this lifetime. It was kind of weird and shaky to me, I mean, you're in your home alone, you turn a corner and something blips out with a star and a light, and you're like, well, I mean, I felt like a cat or something kept looking for a light. When you shine a flashlight on the ground and the cat keeps looking for it. I really felt like that. Like I kept turning back and looking at that spot going, what just happened?
Hang on just a second. My son's alarm.
What just happened? It was an emergency.
He just ran through here to grab it. Sorry about that. What timing, right? It made me jump.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me of when I was speaking with you on the phone and I saw something off in the field and it wasn't an animal and it just kind of was there. I saw it move a few steps and then disappear. So it reminds me of that somewhat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, this one kind of had me a little creeped. I mean, I kept looking at that spot. Like I said, I looked back at it several times while I was doing the laundry, and then I had to pass through that spot again, going, back out and through the kitchen, and again, it kind of creeped me, walking through that space, but it was like, wow.
Yeah, that is incredible. I've had similar things happen.
Yeah, incredible seems to be the word because I don't find the story credible and it's my story. Like, that's pretty bad, when you have trouble finding your own story credible. That's, that makes it difficult.
Yeah, my guest is Spirited Truth, and she is not on camera, just audio, just so you guys know.
Sorry about that. I just, I haven't done a Hangout interview before, and I guess I didn't have a Hangout identity or something. I don't know, so.
Yeah, she's got to upload her icon. So, yeah. We were working on that, but we decided we'd get the live stream going, and then she'll be able to set that up after. So, okay, so that is, did you sense any negative energy when that happened?
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't, I sure didn't sense anything good. You know what I mean? And I felt a little invaded. So, I mean, I don't know what it was, but they certainly weren't invited because if they were, they would have presented themselves to my face, not been creeping in my kitchen. And I don't know, am I supposed to be able to be seeing chat? Because I'm not seeing anything. Is nobody just chatting?
No, there's people chatting. You can pull up the actual event page and look at it like you would a regular YouTube thing, but make sure you mute it when you go to the page because it'll feed back into the mic because it'll be playing.
It has the little group chat window over here, but
that is the actual Hangouts chat, which is separate. Oh. So if you go to YouTube and open up the page where the actual event's happening, you'll see the chat just like you would if you were sitting in on a stream but weren't participating inside the Hangout thing. And you'll be able to see the chat.
Okay, well, I'm a little computer stupid now. I can't even find you on YouTube, so I'm not getting.
Let me send you the link on Facebook. How's that?
Well, I'm not. That'd be great because I'm not getting the benefit of seeing the the chat, so if people are asking questions, I can't see any chat.
There you go. So if you click that, and it launches a Chrome window, and then once you get on there, make sure you mute the actual video that's playing.
Okay, let's see if I can do that.
Okay.
Because I don't know what's happening in the chat.
Yeah, it's no fun if you can't watch the chat too.
Well, my computer doesn't want stuff now.
Did it work?
Yeah, it's just going real slow.
Oh.
My computer's being slow on its roll.
How do you hang out chat is what Nancy's asking. Well, there's a hangout that'll happen when you're broadcasting if you use that instead of a broadcast software. And that's what I'm using right now. I do have OBS and Zoom, but I'm just using the regular Google's broadcast software. And there is a way that we can hang out and chat afterwards, but it'll be a separate chat room. It wouldn't be inside of the broadcast chat room. Hope that helped explain it.
Okay, oh wow, people have been chatting. I hope nobody asked anything, because I was just yak. I didn't see any chat.
Nobody was asking anything until just recently, and Tawny asked a question. And it says, Spirit of Truth, did you have any feelings about the experience other than surprise? I'm sorry if I missed that part.
Yeah, shock and surprise, disbelief. I mean, it struck me as curious, but, and I suppose there was a tinge of feeling, invaded, and like, who was that, because, like, you don't have to be creeping. I'm not that kind of person. I like things out in the open, up front, above board, and, I don't like any kind of creeping around me, of course. Most people don't. So, the fact that they were in my kitchen, and I'm in here, and I come around the corner, and they blip out, I felt a little bit the tinge of, feeling invaded, but, mostly just, like, kind of shocked, like, what was that?
And Nancy had a question for you, too. Spirit of Truth, do you remember any symbols that you saw when this occurrence happened?
No, I mean, I saw that star, which, it was very defined, almost like the one you would see on Disney. That's why I mentioned Disney, because it was very defined. But the star is the only thing I really saw. And it was real fast. So, it kind of like did look like that. Like what I remember from the Bible cartoons when I was a kid. Yeah.
So kind of like the Star of Bethlehem. Yeah.
Yeah. It did kind of look like that. But I didn't feel like, You know, I didn't feel like something, bad spirit in the house. You know what I mean? Like, any more than I do about, like I've talked about on my channel, you know, um, the beings that take me and have been beating me up and, you know, love to kick me in the thigh and bruise my arms and whatever and shoot me up with whatever they're shooting me up with, you know. Even though those guys are doing horrible things to me, it's not like I feel a big, heavy, evil presence over them. It's more like, you know, kids fighting at school. You know, like when you got in a fight at school, yeah, you were duking it out with this person or whatever, or y'all were scrapping it out, or you didn't like each other or whatever, but you may have felt they didn't like you or they had their purpose or whatever, but you didn't feel like evil black cloud presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel that with the people that take me and try to make me work and that have made me work. I don't feel that with them, and I didn't feel it with this thing either. Like, not any dark presence.
Tony's asking, do you still feel creepy about that spot where it appeared?
You know, I do think about it a lot when I pass by there. I don't know, I just kept looking at it like, I don't know if anybody's ever had a car stolen or something like that, or had your house robbed. Like, because I have before, and I know you keep going back and looking at that spot because you just can't believe it's gone, kind of thing. And that's kind of how I kept looking at that spot, like, did I just see that? And, you know, like I said, not much shakes me, but that one was kind of weird just because, you know, why were they in my kitchen? Like, I don't know. It's not that it's any big deal. It's just like strange. Like if you want to, you know, come and do something to me or something, okay, I'm in here in my room. You know what I mean? Like, why is somebody creeping in my kitchen? Like, are you trying to steal my peaches or something? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like weird.
Yeah. Now, you said you had a couple of different things. Was there something else that happened?
Oh, well, I mean, I have several different things that I haven't discussed on my channel. But, you know, that one there, I haven't really told anyone. Just because I haven't had the chance, you know, I haven't talked to my sister and I haven't, you know, spent much time with my friends, you know, lately talking about stuff like that. So it's just something I hadn't shared with anyone. But, you know, as far as other experiences from life, you know, like I said, they were so numerous, and nobody acknowledges them, that after a while you just take them as normal, and so, yeah, I have a lot of those, some that I'm going to be sharing on upcoming shows of mine, and I mean, I can tell you, like, for example, that I know for a fact, well, we could talk about colloidal silver. I told you about colloidal silver the other day, didn't I?
I'm not sure.
Like, there's different ways to know if you've, you know, jumped universes. I guess different people have different ways of knowing how they're in a different place. And, you know, one thing I discovered was the way colloidal silver works kept changing. So, now that's kind of like one of my go-to ways. There's several things I check because not everything changes every time. But that's one of my go-to ways to check, where am I at, is like, how does colloidal silver work? Or I might look at physics, like Google, what is quantum entanglement? You'd be surprised how much the definition of that changes. And some of the changes that people are seeing happen now, I saw happen a long time ago. And then there are people that made videos and confirmed things that had happened to me, and I said, wow, look at that. I'm not crazy. That really did happen. But he's saying it happened right now, and for me it happened when I was 8. And then I should have captured that video right away, and I didn't, and that guy disappeared. So, I don't know. The main thing I want people to know is that this has been going on a lot longer than you know. Because I remember things like this happening since I was like 5 years old. So it's been going on a lot longer than most people know. And therefore, there's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, especially when you consider that we are spiritual beings. Sorry, I just got interrupted.
Oh, that's okay.
We are spiritual beings, and spiritual beings can't be killed. So, like, no matter what happens here, they can't kill you. They might kill your meat suit. You might have to go get another meat body if you want one, but...
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, because Nancy brought it up, and I was getting ready to say, why don't you share your actual abduction experiences and differentiate between if there was any negative or any positive experiences?
I had positive experiences before age 5. I'm sorry, I just noticed Nancy Murdoch said, yes, it works on a frequency level. Subparticles within our DNA changes. I hope she's not talking about colloidal silver, because that makes a 6th way that it works. I'm going to have to Google colloidal silver when I get off here. But anyway, before age 5, I had good experiences with my people, where I came from. After age 5, most of the ones I remember were negative. Now, I didn't remember for a very, very long time. And I kept feeling like there was a deep, dark secret that nobody was talking about. And then I convinced myself that I was just being dramatic. Oh, Nancy, it is. Oh, my, no. No, Nancy. Oh, no. So I'm going to have to tell you all about the colloidal silver some other time, but I see we're running kind of long, and we were kind of late. But, yes, I'm going to have to talk about this colloidal silver thing at some point in time. But I didn't remember for a long time in my life that and realized that we were being taken. And it's kind of like any time I got an inkling of it, then my memory of it would be wiped again or something. And so, I had just convinced myself, oh, you're just trying to be dramatic. You're just trying to be dramatic. There's no big family thing. There's nothing's happening to you, blah, blah, blah. And so I didn't really know what was going on for a long time. When I did start remembering, they were all negative experiences. They've been my labs. And, I don't even know if there's any, real alien abductions happening on this planet. Just because, the way the MyLabs work, they have such technology, they can convince you of almost anything. I mean, they can make anything appear. And so I'm not even convinced that my alien abductions were in fact alien. I mean, they might have also been my lab. They may just be doing further experiments or something, because I know it's not only work they make us do, it's also experiments that they do on us. And, truly everything that's being done, the deep space programs or whatever, deep military, dark military, shadow military, whatever you want to call them, they do have technology to do those things that are happening. So it could be, they could all be my labs, and they just make you think they're aliens. I know there are people who've been, had my lab abductions, and they thought they were aliens. So,
yeah, that's true. I've seen interviews with Laura Eisenhower, and she says that Eisenhower, our president, signed treaties with extraterrestrial groups and allowed them access to humans. Part of those treaties did.
yeah, and look, I'm not saying that, there's not alien abductions happening. I don't know, but it's just like you and I were talking earlier on the phone, and you said something about an experience, and I was like, I don't buy it. and then something happened here, and I had to go real quick. And then when I called back, I was like, well, what do I know? I mean, just because I don't buy it doesn't mean it's not true. And I don't know everything, and I keep saying that. I don't know everything. Nobody does. And there is so much going on, so many different factions. There are different groups that take me. Are they all my lab groups? I don't know. Could some of them be alien? They could. But I don't know either way. I just know that military can definitely make them seem like aliens when they're not. They definitely have the technology to do that and to fool people into that. But, so I do know there are my lab abductions. And, there's even different factions of those guys that wear different kinds of uniforms and stuff and do different kinds of jobs. So, most of my experiences have been being tested on or being forced labor, being forced to solve problems and answer questions. And I think it's when, we started kind of getting more consciousness about us where we could actually fend these guys off. That's when they started to beat us up and shoot us up and all that kind of stuff. So, whatever is going on with whether it's my labs or whether, it's people abducting you and shooting you up with stuff, or whether it's Mandela effect and things going weird in your universe. Whichever one it is, I can tell you there's just no need to be afraid. Because there's nothing you can do about it, number one, right? And number two, it's been going on for a very long time. And then number three, if you believe in spirituality or God or the Bible or anything like that, then you know that you are an infinite being. So, there's only so much they can do to you anyway. What problems do they make you solve? That's a tough one to answer, because a lot of it I haven't really remembered, because it didn't really matter to me. It was enough for me to know they were trying to make me do something. I know that probably some of it had to do with how would I put this? Space flights and space missions. Usually infiltration. How do we get in here? How do we get in there? How do we engineer into this or that? I know sometimes I would have to look for specific, for lack of a better term, I'll call them flight paths. And they literally gave me documents of weirdest that I always thought it was so strange that they would give me documents of printed flight paths and make me search through them to find the irregular ones. It's kind of weird. I don't know. But beyond that, I don't know too much, because I never really looked to think about what they were making me solve. It was enough for me to know they were making me work for free. That was enough.
It sounds like they were using your pattern recognition skills. A lot of us have photographic memories, but sometimes it's a specific type of photographic memory. Like, with me, it's mapping. Very similar to your own, evidently, with the flight paths. Right. You can't get me lost anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
That's
like photographic memory of where I've been, and I just don't get lost.
That's a very odd thing, because I kind of have that too, where I generally know what direction I'm in. You can spin me around and around and stop me, and I'll tell you which direction I'm facing, and it's been pretty hard to get me lost too. That is another similarity there. It's funny, because even when I can remember I was about 4 years old, and the adults in my family, my mom and dad and aunt and uncle, were all in an argument about which direction the country cabin faced. And when they ended up going back up there next time and checking it, I had it right. It was facing west. And Tawny, yes, they are testing us all the time. And yes. And she's saying maybe trying to reach into knowledge you had from another time. absolutely. Some factions of these people want to be like us. And by that, I mean, spiritual beings from other places who are able to inhabit a meat body and still be able to hook up to both sides and to be able to go to the places that we go when we're not here. And it's funny because we keep telling them how to do it, but they don't believe it and they won't do it. And so they keep thinking if they keep testing and testing, they'll find the big secret, which we already gave them, and they just won't believe it. And it's very catch-22 and paradoxical. It's a very strange situation because, they're like, how can y'all have so much control over, like, certain things? And we keep telling them because we gave up control. And they are such control freaks that they can't give up control to have more control. And we keep trying to tell them the way you have more control is to give up control. And they think we're tricking them. So it's kind of been going round and round. But yeah, they do try to get knowledge from us. A lot of times we give it to them and they just simply don't believe it. And so we kind of go round and round. It's weird.
Can you explain to them what you've experienced as far as when you started resisting them and what happened due to that resistance?
Yeah, and I'll just say quickly, Tony Pony, you're right. They do. They want the spark. They also want power, and they don't understand that to get it, they gotta let go of power. It's weird, but, yes, and you were asking me, Dee?
Yeah, I was asking, when you have been resistant to doing what they want, what did you experience because of that?
It started out with them, like, increasing the whatever they do to us that mind controls us. Because it is kind of like the movies where you can't fight back, you can't move, they control you, period. And, that kind of started wearing off. It wasn't working on us anymore. And the more that kind of wore off, they kind of like turned up the power to that. And then when that wouldn't work anymore, they started using drugs on us. Certain drugs, like some that we don't even know of, but some of them are like sodium pentothal and sodium amytal or whatever, and scopolamine, different things like that they use for like mind control manipulation. They started using drugs on us, and even like street drugs to just like get you high or try to get you to, I don't know, walk on the dark side or something. I don't know, but to try to throw you off your balance. So they ramped up the mind control first, and then they did the drugs, and then when that wasn't working anymore, they just started getting frustrated and beating us up, jerking us around, and just flat beating us up. Like I said, there's, I think certain ones of them like certain techniques. Like the one that kept working with me and beating me up loves to kick me in the upper thigh and knock that thigh bone out. One that works with my sister loves to stomp on her foot. And every time they stomp on her foot, And every time they kick me in the thigh. And I get, bruises on my arms where they've been grabbing me and stuff like that. The beatings got more progressive, and then they started just, throwing us in our bed out of frustration. And that's all they've been doing lately. And they have slowed down, and I told my sister they're going to slow down because they can't keep taking us forever when we're not working for them anymore. And so I've been telling everybody that is being taken in my labs, try to remember, just tell yourself before you go to bed, I'm going to remember, I'm going to remember, I'm going to stay in my head, I'm going to resist. And then start doing that, start resisting, and really the more you realize that they can't do anything about it, the more you'll see that you have more power than you think, and you will start getting control, and they will start losing control. And yes, Tony, a lot of the stuff did make me sick. I think a lot of the people that are my lab abducted are people who have, things like genetic anomalies or autoimmune disorders and things like that, because they're giving us drugs and who knows what else. I just know, I've been waking up for years now with needle marks that I can't explain, and I've been sick, so I can't use drugs, and my body just would not have it, even if I wanted to. So, yeah, it especially makes me sick because, I don't even do, prescription drugs or anything. I do natural stuff, so, yeah, they do make us sick, but, the thing is that they're losing power, we're gaining power, and, so if you even suspect, if you have an inkling something's happening to you, just tell yourself before you go to sleep, I'll remember and I will resist, and then you'll start resisting, and, they'll start trying to get you to cooperate, but all you have to do is keep saying no, 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 and eventually they just have to stop, because you just can't go being a bully to the same person every day when it doesn't work. Eventually you gotta find a new victim.
Very well put.
Yeah.
As far as gifts and abilities, did you want to share some of those? We know that you have some mapping ability that's going on there with pattern recognition, basically. Is there other things that you've noticed?
Well, as far as regular human abilities, yeah, there's a few, but everybody has, their different gifts. I don't know, which of these are, really, I would call gifts or anything, or abilities, because everybody has things they're better at than other people. But yeah, I can usually spot detail when something's out, and I think that's falls in also with the pattern recognition. Some psychic abilities I've had since birth. I have done some channeling. I'm able to help people recover memories of where they're from. And you and I actually had a session. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that, but we haven't got there yet. But you've been able to have some memories that you hadn't had before.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, and and that's not so much a spiritual gift or anything. It's just knowing to have the person look. It's just a very mechanical thing, really. but I've noticed that other people can't get people to remember as fast as I can, so I don't know what that's about. Speak anything about why you were chosen. Do your instincts? No, my instincts, Tawny, don't tell me anything, but my memories do. I mean, I remember making agreements to come here. I know exactly why I came and under what circumstances and that kind of thing. And with a lot of people, it'll start with an inkling, like you're saying, an instinct. So, if somebody has a feeling like you and I were talking about it, Dee, about people feeling like they're on a mission. Well, I went running around for a couple of years, quite a few years ago, going, does anybody else feel like they're here on a mission? Does anybody know about a mission? Does anybody know what that's about? And everybody would look at me like I was crazy. And then I started to run across a few people that said, yes, I'm here on a mission. I'm like, great, what is it? They were like, I don't know, I was hoping you knew. And I was like, no, I was hoping you knew. But, we later learned everybody has their own mission and you have to remember it. And so if you think, that you're here on a mission or something, then keep looking at it, and keep questioning it. And if you want to, you can even contact me and I'll try to help you remember. But, yeah, I just, most of it came to me in an instant that I remembered all of the memory of why I came here. Now, I had blips and barbs beforehand, and I really wasn't understanding, and I was like, well, I know where I was at before I came here, but that's not really my home, and I don't know where my home is, and I think I spent maybe 6 or 9 months not knowing exactly where my home was or where I was from, and then all of a sudden, bam, I had my full memories return. And so, a lot of people were chosen because they volunteered. And so, there's a lot of different people here for different reasons and from different places. And, I'm just one of them. They all have different jobs. I'm a pretty kind of low-level grunt type of worker, but I am on an extremely elite team. And that's just because of the circumstances under which I came. It had nothing to do with me. It was more about helping and protecting me. So I'm on a very elite team, but not because I was elite, but just because I kind of needed to be protected. I kind of told Dee at one point I viewed it as being a mascot. I'm kind of a mascot type. I do have a mission, and I am the commander of my mission, but it's all kind of by default. It's like, I'll talk about it in some of my videos later, but, yeah, it's not like I'm anybody special. I'm just another one of the troops, just like a grunt, boots on the ground, whatever. Sense of purpose, I've been meditating on it. Tawny, that's what you've got to keep doing, because when it's your time, your mission will begin to come in focus, and it comes in stages. Like, for quite a while, I felt like I was getting ready for a mission. I described it very much like military here, that, sometimes they say you're on 36 or whatever, and it's, it means sometime in the next 36 hours we're going to come in and tell you it's time to go and you better be ready. So it's like high alert, that you're ready, you're going somewhere, but they don't tell you where. And then, and then when they say, okay, they might have you meet in the mess hall or in the hangar or wherever, and they still don't tell you where you're going. Sometimes they don't tell you until you're on the damn way to where you're going. And so I felt like that for a very long time. Like, my bags were packed and we'd been called to the hangar. We're going, okay, now we're on the plane. Okay, we still don't know where we're going. We still don't know what the mission is. But as you need to know, it will come into focus for you. It's just not your time yet. Your troop hasn't been deployed yet. But you will probably feel it building up and like you're getting ready the closer it gets. But we have had some delays and that's made it difficult. But, yeah, it's kind of different for everyone. Keep meditating on it, Tawny. And when it's time, it'll be revealed to you. And we're also going to share a meditation at a later time when I get a chance. I wish I was as talented as Dee with technology. I would get a lot of this out a lot faster, but I'm just no good with it.
Well, it's not super hard to do. Like what I'm doing right now, live streams. And it's a little more complicated when you use broadcasting software, but it's still not that difficult.
Yeah.
It does make it easier than putting together videos and doing all the editing. That's a lot more work.
Yeah, and that's mostly what I do, so it makes it really hard. So, I am sorry that we ran a little bit late today, and I do feel that for sure. It's been a lifelong thing for sure. My first year's best five come along in my life. There's a sense of urgency all of a sudden. Yeah, Tony, we're all feeling it, honey. We all feel it, baby. But just know that it's okay. Just know that you're where you need to be, and you're finding your people, and it'll be okay.
Or you can be like me, which is you get your mission, and then you agonize about your feet, like I did.
Yeah, well, I did too, so what are you going to do?
It's like, you want me to what? And when we're speaking of this, we're not talking about the bad guys that come and get us. We're speaking of our friends that are trying to help.
Right.
It's a totally different deal.
Right.
Well, yeah, this planet. Because I have a feeling whatever happens here is going to happen on some others, because we're not the only planet that's been infiltrated.
No, I mean, this happens a lot, and people go out, on missions. That's why I said, back home people go on missions all the time, because, there's always stuff happening. But, Dee, I hate to cut it short, especially since, it's been going so well, but, I had somebody due to show up here. I didn't know we were going to go any longer than an hour, because that's usually how long you go. And so my people are here. I'm going to have to jump off. But I'll be happy to come back and hang out with you anytime.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, you go ahead and go, and I'll wrap up the show. I've got a couple other things I wanted to share with them before I headed out, and it looks like some people might want to do a chat tonight, so we might be doing that after the show.
Oh, awesome. Well, I hate that I have to miss that, so I hope we can come back and do it again sometime.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Spirit of Truth, for coming on and sharing that information. I'd love to have you on again. And Spirit of Truth, she does videos too. As a matter of fact, several people that I've met do videos, and her link is in the description. So if you want to see what she has to say, I would definitely sub her channel. So that you can get her latest info. Because she has ongoing stuff going on just like I do. It's not something that happened in the past and is over with. It's ongoing. Has been all our lives pretty much.
Right. Right.
So anyway, sweetie, well, you have a wonderful evening, and I will share some more stuff with our chat room and our other subs.
All right, awesome. And then you're going to edit this before you put it up, right?
Oh, yeah.
The beginning?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
All
Later.
right. Bye-bye.
Okay. There was a few more things I wanted to share with everybody. Or a couple. I don't know. We'll see. One thing I've noticed about many of us is eyes are a big deal to me. And I think they are for a whole bunch of you. It's like you can look somebody in the eyes, and it doesn't have to be in person. It can even be a photograph or a video. And there's like an instant sense of recognition. And that's happened to me many times. And so there's also something else. A lot of us have very unusual eyes.
Urgent. New message.
What? Sorry. Don't know what this... Oh, it's an Amber Alert. Yikes, that's not good. Bones. Aren't they fun? Anyway, so, eyes themselves. Those are a fascinating subject because when you look at someone, I can instantly read a person like a book sometimes. Depends on how open they are. I've also run into very people that I'm not even sure what to say. They're either, well, there's a difference. There's some that are just negative people, but I've run into some that are just flat, best way to put it, evil. I don't know. I think that's possible. This is just my take on it because of experiences I've had, but it's like they have an attachment, possession, possibly. So eyes are a big deal to me. And I was going to share with you all. Let me get it pulled up, and then I'll do a share screen. And I was going to share with you my eyes. A couple of you probably have seen these photos, but let me get them pulled up. And I will share those with you. Alrighty. There we are. Okay. Well, let's see if we can do a share screen. just flip through these real quick. Now, not everybody has that many colors in their eyes. I've got several colors in my eyes, anywhere from blues, greens, grays, gold, yellow, amber, and peach. Interesting colors, huh? And the weird turquoise blue and peach, and yeah. But those are my eyes. And something that I noticed about a lot of us, now maybe not everyone, what? Let me put that down. It wants me to activate Windows, but I've been too lazy to deal with it because I need to reload it while the computer is actually hooked to the internet. And I've been too busy researching to mess with it, so, or fixing other people's computers. Anyway, but yeah, that's my eyes. See what I mean? There's even peach, and yeah, they're kind of crazy. Anywho, so, fun times with the eyeballs, huh? But I thought I'd share that with you guys. Now, I'm sure I'll have Spirit of Truth back on again to share with us some more, and she'll be in Hangouts, not this evening because she's got company, but she'll be in the Hangouts so that you guys can talk to her. She's an amazing person, super sweet, very helpful too, because she's gone through a lot and had a lot happen and can give a lot of advice. But anyway, like I said, her link's down in the description. And I wanted to remind everybody also about the Ho'oponopono, and this is the order it goes in. And like I said, when you're doing this, make sure that you really go into yourself and use come out of your heart with it. It's, I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. You can do that in your head or do it directly to a person, and it couldn't hurt. So if you find yourself in a situation where things feel tense, or you have a problem with a family member, it couldn't hurt to try it. Especially if it's coming from the heart, it's kind of hard for it not to break through the walls. But I think I will get going as far as this video. But I do want to do a hangout if you all do. So if you would like to hang out for a little while and just chat, let me know in the chat over here, and I'll set up a room for us to do that in. Okay, I'm going to take that as a no for tonight, which is cool. Okay. Alrighty. Well, anyway, until this weekend, I'm not sure if I'm going to do another stream this week. If I do, it'll be over the weekend, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And I'll try to announce it as soon as I can. I'm still working out, schedule and trying to keep things balanced and not overdo it. Because I'm still healing myself from mast cell activation disorder, and a whole host of other problems. So anyway, but I love you guys from the earth to the stars, and can't wait to see you guys again, and look forward to talking to you in the near future. Anyway, have a great night.